Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that changed my life. It wasn't money. It wasn't fame. It wasn't even opportunity. It was my morning habits. You see, the way you wake up, the way you talk to yourself, the way you handle the first hour of your day, that determines everything. Morning habits set the tone for the entire day. How you start is how you finish. Every day is a blank canvas, and the first strokes you paint on it matter more than you realize. When you wake up and begin your day with intention, discipline, and clarity, you build a rhythm that follows you through every hour. That first hour isn't just about getting ready. It's where your energy, focus, and mindset are shaped. Most people don't understand how much power lies in that quiet time before the world starts moving. It's the time when your mind is freshest, your spirit is most open, and your thoughts are most honest. If you waste it by hitting the snooze button, scrolling through negativity, or rushing in panic, you've already started your day in survival mode. But if you use it to speak life into your goals, to move your body, to align with your purpose, then you walk out into the world not reacting to it, but leading it. Your morning routine doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be yours, and it needs to serve the person you're trying to become. Whether it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to reflect, pray, meditate, or write down your goals, those small disciplines add up. They create a mindset of control, of direction, of determination. When you start your morning with clarity, it's harder for confusion to shake you. When you begin with peace, it's harder for chaos to touch you. And when you speak your intentions aloud, your actions begin to follow your words. That's how you create alignment. The truth is, everyone wants to be successful, but few people are willing to prepare themselves for success. Success doesn't begin at the meeting, on the stage, or when the money hits your account. It begins when no one's watching, when the alarm goes off and you decide whether to honor your future or delay it. That decision, that moment, that choice, it's all in your morning. Think of your habits like seeds. What you plant in the morning grows throughout your day. If you plant doubt, fear, procrastination, and distraction, then that's what you'll reap. But if you plant confidence, discipline, intention, and faith, you'll start seeing the results in your relationships, your work, and your mindset. Too many people leave their day up to chance. They roll out of bed, rush to get ready, and hope for the best. But hope is not a strategy. Strategy is getting up with a plan, knowing what matters, and protecting that time before distractions come in. There's something sacred about those early moments. It's where your vision lives. It's where your heart speaks. It's where your mind finds silence. If you're willing to master your mornings, you'll find it much easier to master your day. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you treat the beginning with respect, the rest will follow. That's why how you start is how you finish. Success is not random. It begins with consistent discipline in the early hours. Every person you've ever admired, every name that stands for greatness, every story of achievement that inspires you has a foundation built on discipline. It's not about talent alone, not about luck, and definitely not about shortcuts. It's about what they choose to do when the rest of the world is sleeping. That quiet, sacred window in the early hours is where champions are made. It's where people build the mindset to show up even when no one is clapping. When you choose to wake up early and commit to a pattern of discipline, you are telling yourself and the universe that you are serious about your purpose. That choice over time shapes your identity. You begin to believe in your ability to keep promises to yourself, and that belief becomes the foundation of confidence. Discipline trains your body, your emotions, and your thoughts to follow structure rather than impulse. Most people live by how they feel. If they're tired, they skip the work. If they're unmotivated, they wait for inspiration. But the people who succeed deep, lasting, meaningful success, they don't wait to feel like it. They show up because they said they would. And they start by doing that every morning. There's power in building a rhythm that grounds you before the world demands your attention. You take time to stretch your body, read a page of wisdom, speaking your goals into existence, drink water, fuel your body, or simply breathe with intention. Whatever your version of discipline looks like, it has to be consistent. That's the key. A scattered morning leads to a scattered life. A disciplined morning builds structure around your priority. The early hours become your training ground, not just physically, but mentally. You're training yourself to win in moments of discomfort. You're teaching yourself that your dreams matter more than a few extra minutes of sleep. And most importantly, you're reminding yourself that you have control over how your day begins. Discipline creates clarity. It removes the need to decide what to do each day because the routine is already built. That removes stress and brings peace. Your mind isn't racing to catch up because you're already ahead. Your focus sharpens because your body is alert, your spirit is grounded, and your goals are front and center. When you build a morning routine based on discipline, you're building a standard for how you live your life. That standard starts small, a few consistent actions, but it grows into a mindset that doesn't accept excuses. It demands growth. It requires commitment. It invites excellence. And day by day, you begin to see the results. You think clearer. You make better choices. You stop chasing motivation and instead rely on your habits. That's how success is built. Not overnight, but every single morning when you choose discipline over delay, progress over comfort, and consistency over chaos. The mind is clearest and strongest in the morning. Train it before the world distracts you. Those early hours hold a rare kind of power. It's the only time of the day when your thoughts are untouched, your heart is open, and your energy hasn't been pulled in 10 different directions. Before the emails, the noise, the notifications, the opinions of others, and the weight of responsibilities, your mind is in a state of calm alertness. That moment right after waking up is a sacred opportunity to shape the kind of person you want to be for the day. What you allow into your thoughts at that time matters more than you think. If you begin your morning in chaos, distraction, or negativity, that becomes the emotional filter for how you see everything else. But if you start with focus, gratitude, and positive intention, it's like putting on mental armor before stepping into battle. Training your mind doesn't require hours. It just requires attention and repetition. Take time to breathe, to reflect, to read something meaningful, to journal your thoughts, or to speak affirmations that ground you in purpose. These small acts, done consistently in the morning, begin to rewire how you see the world and how you react to it. Your mindset isn't something you inherit. It's something you create. And the best time to do that is when your brain is fresh, your emotions are calm, and your spirit is still in tune with itself. The mind is a powerful tool, but if you don't take control of it early, the world will do it for you. News headlines, social media feeds, negativity from other people, all these things begin to influence how you think and feel the moment you expose yourself to them. That's why a strong morning routine protects your mindset. You choose what to consume, what to believe, and what to reject. You set your focus intentionally so your day doesn't set it for you. In the morning, you still have the clarity to prioritize what matters. You can focus on goals, visualize success, pray, or meditate and speak words that give you strength. These actions aren't just for motivation, they're for preparation, because the truth is, challenges will come. Distractions will arise. Stress will show up. But if your mind has already been trained to stay centered, to stay disciplined, to stay focused, then you respond with power instead of panic. People underestimate the value of a trained mind. It doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're prepared. And the preparation starts when no one's watching, before the phone rings, before the world expects anything from you. Your mind is like a muscle. It needs exercise. It needs direction. It needs fuel. And every morning, you get the chance to shape how strong it becomes. That strength carries you through tough conversations, through moments of doubt, through big decisions that help you lead, speak, build, and grow. All of it starts with a simple decision to take control of your mindset before the world has a chance to shake it. Winning your morning gives you control over your life. Most people live in constant reaction. They wake up and immediately check their phones, respond to messages, scroll through notifications, and let the outside world dictate their mood, their focus, and their energy. They haven't even spoken to themselves, yet they've already let 10 different voices into their head. When you live like that, you're not in charge. You're being pulled in every direction by whatever or whoever demands your attention first. But when you win your morning, you flip that script. You begin your day by deciding what matters, what deserves your energy, and what your priorities truly are. Taking control of your morning means choosing intention over reaction. You're not just waking up, you're waking up with purpose. You're deciding how you feel, what you believe, and what direction you're moving in before anyone else has the chance to tell you otherwise. That's where real power begins. It's not in how loud you are, or how busy you stay, or how many people you impress. Power is quiet. It starts when you take time to align your thoughts, your heart, and your goals before the noise comes in. When you win your morning, the rest of your day starts falling into place with more clarity and flow. You're not chasing the clock. You're ahead of it. You're not stressed about the unexpected. You've already centered yourself. You've already prepared your mind to focus, your body to move, and your spirit to stay grounded. That kind of preparation isn't just a habit. It's a declaration. It says, I value myself enough to show up for me before I show up for anyone else. And when you live with that level of self-respect, your decisions improve, your boundary strength, your productivity rises. You stop giving away your time and energy to things that don't build you, and you start protecting your space like your life depends on it, because it does. Winning your morning doesn't mean you need to do 10 things before 7 a.m. It doesn't mean perfection or some rigid routine that makes you miserable. It simply means owning the first part of your day in a way that serves your highest self. Whether that's sitting in silence, reading something powerful, moving your body, praying, setting intentions, or just breathing deeply, it's your time to reconnect with yourself before the rest of the world makes its demands. When you do that consistently, you'll notice something incredible. You feel more confident, more present, more capable. You respond to problems with a clearer head. You stop rushing. You stop doubting yourself so much because your day didn't happen to you. You created it. That feeling of creation, of direction, of control. That's what changes lives. That's what builds momentum. That's what gives you an edge that most people never develop. And it all begins in those first quiet minutes when you choose to lead your life rather than follow it. Purposeful mornings create momentum and confidence. When you wake up and immediately step into action with clarity, intention, and structure, you begin to feel a shift inside. It's not just about completing tasks or being productive. It's about starting your day with a sense of purpose that fuels everything else. That purpose doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can be as simple as setting a goal for the day, reminding yourself of your values, or committing to one positive habit. The moment you start doing something on purpose, you tell your brain, we're not just drifting through this day, we're driving it. That changes how you walk, how you speak, and how you see yourself. When people go through their mornings passively, they often feel like they're catching up all day long. They wake up late, rush through routines, forget things, and arrive at their responsibilities already tired and scattered. There's no control, and because there's no control, there's no confidence. But when you take charge of your morning, even in small ways, you start to stack wins early. Maybe you make your bed. Maybe you drink water. Maybe you move your body. Maybe you speak out loud one thing you're grateful for. These are not meaningless acts. They are foundational decisions that create momentum. One win leads to another. And with each one, you begin to trust yourself more. You build a belief system that says, I show up for me. Momentum is powerful because it carries you forward when motivation runs low. Everyone has days when they don't feel inspired or excited. That's normal. But when you have momentum from a purposeful morning, it becomes easier to push through resistance. Your mind remembers that you've already accomplished something. You've already chosen discipline. You've already taken one step toward your goals. That momentum makes it harder to give up and easy to keep going. You develop a rhythm that builds upon itself, and suddenly your days feel more aligned and your actions more meaningful. Confidence isn't something that appears out of nowhere. It's built moment by moment through intentional actions. When your morning is rushed, anxious, and reactive, it chips away at your confidence. But when your morning is grounded, focused, and led with purpose, it reinforces the belief that you are in control of your day, your choices, and your life. The more days you begin this way, the more your confidence compounds. You stop waiting for things to change and start becoming the change. You stop needing validation because you've already validated yourself by honoring your own process. This is why people who prioritize their mornings often seem more grounded, more successful, more present. They're not luckier, they're just more intentional. They understand that how they begin affects how they continue. They know that momentum is built in those quiet minutes when no one's watching, and confidence is grown when you keep promises to yourself before the day begins. Morning habits separate dreamers from doers. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has a vision for what they want their life to look like. But dreams without action are just fantasies. The difference between people who talk about what they want and those who go out and get it is often found in the first hour of the day. What you do in the morning tells the truth about how serious you are. It's easy to speak about goals when you're feeling inspired or when you're around people who motivate you. But the real test is what you do when no one is watching. When your alarm rings and you have a choice to get up or to keep sleeping on your future, that moment right there is the line between intention and commitment. People who take their mornings seriously understand that success isn't about one big break or one huge opportunity. It's about consistency. It's about showing up again and again, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's not glamorous. Your morning habits are the clearest reflection of your discipline. They reveal whether you're building a foundation for your dreams or just admiring the idea of them. Doers don't just hope for things to change. They create routines that support the life they want. They use the early hours to prepare, to focus, to gain an edge while others are still asleep or distracted. There's something powerful about starting your day with intention, whether it's waking up early to journal, pray, plan, or move your body. These habits compound over time. They may seem small on their own, but together they shape a mindset that says, I'm not waiting, I'm working. Dreamers often wait for motivation to strike. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect situation, or the perfect mood. Doers understand that success favors those who act in spite of their feelings. That action often begins with what they decide to do when they first open their eyes in the morning. Morning habits also build identity. The person who gets up early, who follows through, who refuses to start the day with chaos or distraction, is shaping a character that becomes reliable, focused, and unstoppable. That identity starts to bleed into every part of their life. They speak differently, carry themselves with more confidence, and make decisions from a place of strength because they've earned their own respect. The morning is not just about the clock. It's about the commitment. If you can win the first hour, you prove to yourself that your dreams matter enough to be prioritized. That mindset becomes the fuel that drives you forward when obstacles show up. Everyone has potential, but it's those who harness the power of routine, who show up before the world expects them to, and who use the silence of the morning to build their voice, that go from wishing for more to living in the reality they once imagined.